The blacks were brought from Africa to America in shackles and chains as slaves, without a visa.
The hell of the slave ships reveals the brutality of the transatlantic slave trade. Thousands of Africans were torn from their lands, crammed into unsanitary holds with no room to move. Diseases and hunger were constant, resulting in a high mortality rate. Chains and shackles scarred their bodies, and despair tainted their souls. The crossing lasted for months, with endless suffering. The surviving slaves arrived in the Americas, exhausted and sold as commodities, beginning a life of forced labor. This dark chapter in history highlights the inhumanity and cruelty of the slave trade, whose scars persist to this day.
History is repeating itself again. America, under the leadership of Donald Trump, is deporting Africans from America to Africa because they don't have visa. The deportees are in shackles and chains like their ancestors. Listen to this unrepentant government agent.
I'm John Modlin, Chief of the U.S. Border Patrol's Tucson sector. This morning, I'm at the Tucson International Airport. Behind me, you can see recently processed migrants boarding an international flight back to their country of origin. I would remind anyone thinking about crossing the border illegally between the ports of entry that under Title 8, you may face an enhanced expedited removal process, meaning that upon being encountered, you'll be promptly placed into immigration proceedings and may be removed. Instead, anyone considering migrating to the United States is highly encouraged to apply for admission. Don't risk your life or the lives of your loved ones by crossing illegally through Arizona's desert during the summer months. Remember, there are consequences for illegal entry under Title 8. These consequences are strictly enforced. Use the CBP-1 mobile application. Don't cross the border illegally.
We must have a stronger concept of what we should be as Africans. Our meta-contributions to the development of the West should not be in vain. To halt the further humiliations of Africans by the West, we must assert our institutional identity and economic freedom. Let us revisit this message of vision, hope, freedom, and liberty from Marcus Garvey.
Did you know a black-owned shipping company once aimed to connect Africa and the Americas? Let's dive into the fascinating story of Marcus Garvey's Black Star Line. In 1919, Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican-born black nationalist, founded the Black Star Line. His vision? To empower African Americans by creating a global trade network and facilitating the return of the African diaspora to their ancestral homeland. It was the first black-owned shipping company, and it stirred immense excitement within the community. The company launched its first ship, the Yarmouth, in November 1919. The maiden voyage was a historic moment, witnessing thousands of supporters cheering at the New York harbor. Despite facing initial challenges, the company persisted, acquiring other vessels by 1920. But it wasn't smooth sailing. The Black Star Line faced significant financial difficulties, partly due to sabotage and partly due to Garvey's inexperience in maritime operations. In 1922, Garvey was convicted of mail fraud related to the sale of company stock, a highly controversial trial that many believed was politically motivated. He was eventually deported to Jamaica in 1927 after serving part of his sentence. The impact of the Black Star Line, however, cannot be understated. It symbolized black pride and economic independence during a time of racial segregation and oppression. Garvey's vision inspired future generations of black entrepreneurs and civil rights activists. Fast forward to 2024, the legacy of the Black Star Line is still discussed in the context of black empowerment and historical achievements. Garvey's dream of a global black economy resonates even today. What do you think about Garvey's ambitious venture? Should there be another attempt to create such a shipping line? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to follow for more intriguing history.